Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here for something that we do periodically, and by periodically I mean way too often for our bank accounts.
Sporadically, really. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just,
oh, I gotta go.
Got the itch.
Gotta go to the bookstore.
This is a book haul.
Yeah.
This is my book haul. I went to bookstore in local St. Joseph. They had a sale, 5 used books, regardless of price, for $25.
Okay. I am ready to be disappointed.
Okay. So the whole reason I did this, they didn't have much of a selection. Really disappointed. I spent like an hour digging, but I wanted this book, and it was $13. And I say, if I'm gonna buy a used book for $13, I'm gonna get 4 others for like 12.
Yeah.
So I got Chuck Palahniuk's Pygmy.
Okay. That is a Chuck Palahniuk book that I have not read. I have heard that it is difficult to get through.
And you're the one who tells me you're going to be disappointed. So you're welcome.
I'm still disappointed in you.
I'm actually
that is an all right choice for a book.
Caught by surprise. The opening quote is from Adolf Hitler. He alone who owns the youth gains the future. That's ballsy, old Chuck.
Yeah.
So a lot of this novel is redacted.
Yes.
Is that how this setup is working?
And from what I understand, it is written in broken English.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to read it as redacted. We'll read the first sentence. Begins here, first account of Operative Me, agent number 67. On arrival, Midwestern American Airport, greater redacted area. Flight redacted. Date redacted. Priority mission, top success to complete. Code name, Operation Havoc. Very Chuck Palahniuk.
Very Chuck Palahniuk. Get you right in there.
I'm ready for it. I haven't read it. Maybe we'll do this as a review. Maybe we won't.
I would like to make our way through the entire canon of Palahniuk.
We need more Palahniuk. Everybody needs more Palahniuk in their life.
Yeah, the entire canon as it stands. It's not nice to say his entire canon when he's still alive. So
I'm expecting at least a thank you card for how many people we've turned on to Fight Club.
Yeah, damn it, Chuck, if you're watching this, which you're not, little love.
Anytime now. Anyway. That's the one I wanted.
Yes.
The next 4 I had to dig to find something so I could, satisfy my shopping needs. This one, The 101 Habits of Highly Successful Novelists.
That sounds clickbaity.
It sounds clickbaity. My assumption here is this has random comments on passion, discipline, creativity, and the business.
That is not an assumption. You're literally reading out of the book.
I have problems speaking real words, so I just say things and hope that nobody calls me out on them.
Good.
There was actually one video where I made up a word. I'm editing it. I'm like, yeah, I made up a word there. Nobody said anything about it.
What was the word?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I was going for something and it didn't work.
Normally I call people out on that. Maybe I did not because I have respect for you.
Well, that's a first. Thank you. So anyway, from my understanding, this is a collection of novelists commenting on the art of noveling.
There are a lot of writers who will say that books such as that are completely worthless, that they're a waste of time, that you shouldn't invest in them.
And you're one of those people?
No, absolutely not. I think that anytime you're opening the conversation about writing, what you're doing is forcing a writer to think about his or her craft. So even if that was full of gobbledygook and just ridiculous statements, it would be worth reading for a dedicated writer.
Well, as I'm flipping through here, I was going to pick out maybe a couple tidbits, whatnot. Yes. This is the 101 Habits of Highly Successful Novelists you haven't heard of. So
yeah, well, I mean that's what, and it's going back to grad school. I made this point about one of the craft books that we had for a class, and my professor astutely pointed out sometimes the best baseball coaches were very bad at baseball. Right?
Yeah, this is true.
This is sort of the thing.
Here you go from Gregory McDonald. To avoid writer's block at the end of a writing day, regardless of how wiped out you are, start the next day's work. Type a few sentences, even a few words. Even if what you noted is dead wrong, you've given yourself a place to start. It's legitimate advice.
Yes.
So we'll see. This was one of the little tidbits I found in the literary section, which was this big.
I imagine that what that was you walking around thinking, I've got 4 books. How can I not piss Adrian off?
I think I'm going to do well for a couple of these. Stephen King.
Okay.
I wanted Stephen King. This was the only used Stephen King they had.
Really?
This is The Wind Through the Keyhole. You heard of it?
Is that a collection of short stories?
It's a Dark Tower novel.
Oh.
So,
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I don't know
We've
if
had a lot of requests to keep going in the Dark Tower series, and perhaps we will. Is that, what number is that?
I don't know if this is a number, a prequel, a what.
You just bought it. It's a standard practice.
Yeah.
For book readers.
This really is. I wanted a Stephen King.
Okay.
And this was literally the only used Stephen King that they had. So I grabbed it, and I said I'm going with it. So that's what I got. A lot of people did like The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger. I didn't.
Yeah, I did not either.
For some reason, I want to say this is one of the last ones. So I'm sure hundreds of people are more familiar with this than I am.
Oh, yeah.
So let us know
Someone will yell at us.
along what line that goes. Michael Crichton.
Ooh.
See?
Okay.
See, I try. This is Pirate Latitudes.
Oh, Pirate Latitudes.
Bad choice.
I don't think he finished that one.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was finished by his brother.
Okay.
I think his brother was a novelist as well. I know it. I'm 99% positive it came out after he died.
Pirate Latitudes was discovered as a complete manuscript in his files after his death in 2008.
But was it okay? Complete novel.
It was probably edited and finished by the brother, I would assume. Have you read this one?
I have not.
I have not either.
Michael Crichton, very interesting man.
Yeah?
Gave up being a doctor to be a writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because who needs money?
Right. He did pretty well for himself, though.
Oh, obviously very successful.
I started reading, and I have someplace his autobiographical novel called Travels.
Okay.
But, wow, very interesting man.
There was one other used Michael Crichton book.
Probably Travels. I got Travels there used years and years ago.
But it I can't remember what it was. I mean, obviously it wasn't like Jurassic Park or anything big.
Right.
It just didn't click with me, so I'm like, well, I'll try this one. It's hardback. I know it came out a few years back, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. And then I got one for me. I'm sorry.
Got one for you. Okay.
I'm very sorry. I think I've done well.
Your shopping for Adrian is over.
I've done well.
That's fine.
So give me this one. As always, Julia. The Letters of Julia Child and Avis Devoto.
Not mad at you for that.
I fucking love Julia Child.
Okay.
On my list of people who I have just a terrible obsession with, Julia Child.
Okay. Do you have an obsession with Julia Child to the tune of reading a 402-page book about her?
I don't know. When there's a marathon of The French Chef on that I find, I will binge watch it for hours.
And read this during the commercials.
I should. But this is her letters to Avis Devoto. You know who Avis is?
No.
When they were writing The Art of French Cooking.
Okay.
I hope I said that right. I don't know why I just second-guessed Mastering the Art of French Cooking.
Someone will yell at you.
Someone will yell at me. Avis is one of her partners that she wrote the book with. So this would be her letters when she's living in the U.S. Avis is still in France, and they're writing back and forth trying to get through the publishing process. Huge Julia Child fan. Wish I could cook at half the level she could.
So how far back in your life does this Julia Child's obsession go?
Well, as we go to a complete, psychological breakdown of Dalton, I'm not sure. I would assume some
Was this before or after the abuse period?
I assume some of the reverence towards Julia Child comes from my grandmother. She was very much a 1950s housewife.
Okay.
That is what she strove to be. She lived in her kitchen, and that's what she was proud to do. Wonderful woman. Loved the woman to death. And I don't know, something about Julia Child, and from a feminism standpoint, very strong woman. Went against the publishing company, did what she wanted to do, and established herself. So that's
Julia
great.
Child or your grandma?
Julia Child.
Okay.
So I'm all about it.
Okay.
Always kind of enjoyed cooking as a hobby. Big fan of Anthony Bourdain. Read through his biographies.
Okay.
So we'll see where this takes us.
When are you going to start bringing me meal preps?
I could cook for you. I think I've offered to cook for you before.
Yeah, no, I shoot it down.
And you always shoot it down.
Yeah, I have trouble accepting help from anyone.
It's not help, though. It's like, hey, I'm coming over. I'm like, all right, I'll cook dinner. And you're like, no. I'll stop at Chipotle.
Stop at Netflix and pick up a movie so we can chill.
You don't know what that means.
No.
So if you'd like to see Adrian and Dalton Netflix and chill, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at StripCover and on Facebook at StripCoverLit.
That's it. That's what I got.
That's what we got.
5 for 25 book haul. Boom.